Hello, welcome to the Counterattack Playthrough series. We're continuing with our campaign scenario of Empire of the Sun. It's turn 4. Let's get rolling. Alright, it's the reinforcement segment of the reinforcement phase. All these guys, they were in the delayed reinforcements box. They're coming on the game, coming on the board. This guy, I think that was the headquarters that was in the Philippines. It was on the turn track to return to the game on turn 4. So when a headquarters is eliminated or voluntarily disbanded, it's delayed one turn and comes back. These guys are reinforcements for this turn. The War in Europe track is at level 1, which means everyone's delayed. And then US Army units have to roll to see if they have to go to Europe. So it's a 0 to 1. Got a 6, so this guy's just delayed. Alright, all these guys are going to come on the board. First, the Southwest Pacific headquarters has a range of 20. You know, I don't know what a good spot for that is. We already have a headquarters here, but it doesn't have a good range. I think we're just going to throw it down in Espiritu Santo for now. We could move it. Then we had 2 U.S. Navy ships. We have 4 here. Yeah. One, by the way, the Wasp is coming on. It's a carrier, so that's good. We're going to up the stacking to maximum level on Guadalcanal. We got a Marine unit coming in. It's a 12-12. Nice Marine unit. We'll put in Espiritu Santo. As a reminder, these guys have to come in within the range of a headquarters that's already on the board, or can stack with a headquarters that just was placed. And they have to be within supply range. So we got a bunch of aircraft coming in here, and then we have a depleted army unit. Well, how about we'll put the army unit down here in Ifat. Throw a couple air units here with the headquarters. You know what? This air unit. Oh yeah, we're maximally stacked. Guess maybe we'll come in here. We'll just gonna max these air units out. Maybe this 6 range unit will stay down here with this other headquarters. This one will go up here. Okay, that's all the U.S. reinforcements. Oh wait, I think I missed one. I don't think I showed that in my list of reinforcements. So this is on the reinforcement chart, the Washington. So I guess we'll throw this down in Espiritu Santo as well. Figure out what to do with them. All right, Commonwealth coming in. Well, we have a very strong Australian Corps coming in, and you know, I think it needs to cruise into Port Moresby here. And then we got the New Zealand Division 912. I don't know. Maybe it'll come in over in Darwin here. Just coming in to help defend Northern Australia. Oh, and that battleship Washington, that was kind of dumb. This is a new reinforcement. I had it off map by accident, but it should have gone to the delayed reinforcement since it's a new reinforcement. Okay, so I have these last 2 Commonwealth guys. I think they're gonna go to like India, Southeast Asia, see if they can help out over there. Okay, well, these are some pretty powerful units at 2012. It's a core, I guess. I'd like to bring it into Rangoon, but it's already overstacked, so we'll go ahead and bring it into Dhaka here. And yeah, let's go ahead and bring this other core in to Dhaka as well. Okay, the Japanese are getting some reinforcements as well. 2 new air units, great. And then a depleted army unit. Let's go place them. That depleted army unit is going into Bangkok. Obviously there's a Commonwealth Chinese buildup in Southeast Asia. We need to try to counter it. We need to free up our forces down in the Dutch East Indies to try to go deal with that. And then I feel like in this sector, of course, is a large buildup of the Allies, so I want to put this naval bomber in the region. You know, I think I'll put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go ahead and throw it in Yap for the moment. And then we have this Army air unit. We're going to go ahead and put that in Bangkok as well. Okay, there's no air close to the front lines there. Okay, reinforcement segment of the reinforcement phase is over. Now the replacement segment. Okay, it's turn 4. Japan's going to get 1 naval. But we do the Allies first. They're going to get 2 ground and 5 air as per usual. And then 1 US naval replacement, so that'll be nice. Okay, well, the 2 US ground replacement points. I think this is the only US ground unit that is depleted. Go ahead and fix that guy. These are all fresh. Okay, and then there's a 5 air. I think we got plenty to do here. Yeah, there's 2 in here. A 3rd for the depleted air unit on Bougainville. And you can't do this if within an enemy zone of influence, but it's been canceled out by many aircraft. And that's it in terms of Allied depleted air units. There's none to be reconstituted. And then finally we have a US naval replacement. And I think I know what I want to do in here. We have 2 depleted carriers. They're probably identical if I flip them over. Yeah, they're identical. So we'll fix Lexington up. Now we have basically 2.5 carriers down here. I like how that's going. The Japanese get 1 naval replacement. They'd love to use it on their carriers, but they all have the yellow dot indicating they can't be replaced. I'm going to go ahead and bring the Yamato, which came in on turn 2, up to full strength. So that's a pretty solid battle fleet there. One thing that happens during the reinforcement phase is the Allied ASPs go up by 1. So I'll show you that. Okay, strategic warfare segment. We're only doing submarine warfare. There's no strategic bombers available yet. Roll a 10-sided die, roll a 0. I add 1 because we still have defective torpedoes in 1942. So I rolled a 1. Is the game turn, is 1 minus the current game turn, which is 4, less than or equal to 0. Yes. Finally, strategic warfare paid off. Japanese card draw, is reduced by 1, but not below 4 cards. In addition, the Japanese player permanently loses 1 amphibious shipping point and has any escorts, there aren't any, reduced. So yeah, lose 1 amphibious shipping point in a card. That's going to be huge. There we go. Okay, the draw strategy cards segment. I drew the Japanese cards. They only get 6 because of that strategic warfare success. Normally they have 7. Next turn, their strategic reserves run out, so I better get enough resource X's to make up for it. But let's check out what we have. There's a counter-offensive. Oh, a reminder, both the Allies and the Japanese have a card in their future operations queue, so they really have an extra card. So yeah, this looks cool. Some kind of bonus for night fighting and draw a card. Ooh, this is a great card. Battle of Midway, looks like just a big attack kind of thing. Little French frigate shoals, that's near Hawaii, so something interesting could happen there. We can try to drive the war in Europe into level 2 from level 1. That'll make it harder to get reinforcements. It's going to go down by 2 points. So yeah, that'd be good. Paratrooper. Ooh, we used this. We saw this one already. No, we didn't. We saw Conquest of Celebes. Okay, so this is similar to that one, where it looks like a paratrooper can attack a Dutch regiment. So definitely going to use that. Get 2 ground replacements. Okay, cool. And just sort of get this out of the deck. Ooh, a double war in Europe. That's cool. We can try to get the war in Europe track down to level 2. Let's see what happens there. Let's see, basically a 60% chance U.S. Army units go to Europe, and looks like U.S. loses the amphibious shipping point reinforcement. Yeah, so these are strong cards though. It's a 3. It's a 3. Do I really want to use both of them to drive the war in Europe? Maybe. Now the Allies finally get to draw their full complement of cards. The only thing that can reduce it, I believe, is countries surrendering. So we have a Southeast Asia Command headquarters offensive. It looks like it brings on a reinforcement of some armor, so that's looks good. Another thing, Burma offensive. It doesn't have to be used for Burma, but looks like, oh, you have to use a Chinese unit. Okay, so it will be in that area. Wow, look at all these offensives. This is going to be good. Looks like we can take over an island really quick, not have to wait for the amphibious phase to finish. It's another just random thing. I think we saw this one already. So by the way, I shuffled the allied deck. So there's a card that tells you when to shuffle the allied deck. We had it last turn, so yeah, it's been shuffled. So I believe this came out before. We can't use all this because unless we're fighting in the Philippines. Increase U.S. political bill by 1. Baton Death March gets this card out of the deck. Might use that for an event. China offensive. Looks like we can just automatically move the China situation to the right. It's actually not too bad right now, so maybe we won't use for the event. Okay, it's the offensives phase now, and the first part of that is initiative determination. Just a reminder, both factions stored a card as a future offensive from last turn, so that is supposed to be taken into account right now. Also, the number of cards each side has drawn is taken into account. So Japan had 6, the Allies 7. So in that case, since the Japanese have 1 fewer cards, they're going to get a pass that they can use instead of playing a card during this part of the game. Also, we have to determine who goes first, who has the initiative. Typically it goes to the player with the most cards, so that's the Allies. However, if you have a future offensives card and you have fewer cards than the other player, you may play your card first as an EC offensive. Now this is not an offensive though, this is a counter offensive, so I don't think they could play it, and I think I'd rather save it anyway. So that means the Allies have the initiative. They're going to go first. Okay, for the Allies' first card play, I have to kind of decide, do I want to work in Southeast Asia, which seems to be okay right now? Do I want to deal with the imminent fall of Java? Perhaps. But I'm more concerned about this area because there's already been 1 major naval battle. The Japanese carrier fleet is up there. It's been wounded. It'd be nice to try to destroy it. There's a lot of Japanese air and naval in the area, though. I'd like to knock out Rabaul, because capturing Rabaul helps prevent these islands falling into Japanese hands. Just as a reminder, Guadalcanal and Rabaul are, whoever controls both of those controls all the unoccupied islands around here. I also want to start trying to get some units up here to project zones of influence. I got a lot of things to do, so I think I'm going to do something here. By the way, as per usual, I had a lot of comments regarding my mistakes during offensives. I'm not going to point out all the ones I made last turn, but basically things to really remember are the zones of influence. I missed them a few times. I had some amphibious assaults going through zones of influence without escorts. That's not good. I think I may have done some more tracing through zones of influence incorrectly. Had some bad math. But yeah, we'll see if I can avoid that. So I think I'm going to play this card, Hurricane Task Force Biak Invasion. So we're not necessarily invading Biak. I'm going to do it as an EC, so it's going to be a 50% chance of detection. Any headquarters. The logistics value is 4 if I use Southwest headquarters, and that is one of the reinforcing headquarters. Kind of put in a lame spot right next to another headquarters, but we'll go ahead and do this one. So because the logistics will be 4 with that headquarters, plus it has a 2 efficiency, so that gives us 6 units to activate. And what I think I'm going to do is go for Rabaul again with an amphibious invasion, with sort of the side strategy of trying to draw the Japanese carriers in to sink them. So let's go ahead and activate 6 units. So another thing I'm sort of thinking is, I've got all these ships here, including the U.S. carrier fleet. So I'm going to try to preserve these carriers a little bit. Maybe see if I can whittle away more of the Japanese carriers, which are not too far away. So I think we're going to do something like this. We're going to activate North Carolina, the Northampton, the Mississippi, potentially losing her. Going to activate this Marine unit here for the invasion itself. That's 4. Going to activate these 2 air units. They have a short range, but they have decent attack compared to the long-range bombers. So do those guys. Let's see. That's that's 6, right? Yep. Let me tidy this up, and then we'll get moving. Okay, that's tidied. I think this aircraft, it's in range. It's in short range, which is good, of the target hex. By the way, this is an offensive card played as an EC, so I can actually attack multiple hexes. I can have multiple battle hexes, but I think I'm only going to have 1. So this guy, his range is 2. He's in long range, but I want to get that full 10 attack. If it's short range, if it's attacking at long range, I only get half the attack at 5. It was a 2-OC card, which means all aircraft get 2 hops before battle. So I think we'll just hop over here to Woodlark Island. All these islands are Allied controlled since the Japanese never got a hold of this area. Okay, so now he's in range. And I think all these ships, along with the Marine unit, are going to sail right into Rabaul here. And so that unit had to go with a naval unit. Sorry, the Marine unit invasion force had to go with a naval unit escort because there's enemy ships there. It would have also had to do that if there was an enemy zone of influence, but that was eliminated in the last attempt on Rabaul. Okay, let's see if the Japanese are able to react. Okay, the Japanese, they're not going to do they're not going to roll to see if they react. They're going to play a reaction card. They're going to play Japanese counterattack at Savo Island. This is a Japanese counter-offensive. They can activate any headquarters. Logistics value is 3. It'll make an intercept attack. It'll be intercept intelligence level, I should say. Either air or naval units, but not both may be activated, so that's one restriction. But interesting here, the Japanese night fighting advantage. Japanese CA, CL, and APD naval units have 2 added to their attack strength for all battles fought during the current offensive. So that's interesting. And as a bonus, we can draw another card. So this card doesn't waste a turn for them. So they're going to activate South Seas Headquarters, which is in range of a battle hex. It's only going to be able to activate air or land air or naval units. I think we're going to do naval. Potentially risk losing the carriers, but let's see what we can put together here. So cruisers, light cruisers, and APDs get 2 added to their strength, so I think I need to take advantage of that. If I remember historically, Savo Island, which the card represents, was a major Japanese victory, so maybe, and actually I think it was in this area too. I think it was at Guadalcanal. But let's see what we can do here. So there's an APD up here, so let's go ahead and activate that guy. Let's see, we're doing 5, right? I think there's a cruiser in here, maybe. Is there a light cruiser? No. Okay, there's the carriers. So we'll activate this cruiser and Hiei battleship. Go ahead and throw that on top. We have 2 more ships we can activate. Might be able to get the carriers, but let's see if I want to bring in another battleship or something. So activation range is what? 12. Okay, we got that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so we can activate Nagato and Ryujo. We'll activate Nagato. That leaves 1 more. I think I'm going to save Ryujo over there for a little bit. I think it's going to be useful in trying to clear the rest of the Dutch East Indies. Maybe we'll throw 1 carrier into this mess. They're all ruined. We're going to throw in Shokaku. So reacting units must go to participate in battles in a declared battle hex. They can't like create their own battle hex, so we'll just go ahead and move all these guys in. They're reacting with 10 moves. I better make sure the Nagato can actually make it over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, it can't. Okay, so maybe we'll skip the Nagato. That was a mistake. And yeah, maybe we'll just do Ryujo. Okay, so Ryujo, the reason I care about Ryujo, or I'm saying it can make it, is it can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to right around here. And it has a range of 3 to hit this hex. Then, of course, all these guys can make it down there. I guess the carrier will come down here. These battleships and cruiser go here. The APD over here. This is like, you know, going to destroy even more of the Japanese military, but I feel like I need to hold these guys off down here so that I can continue mopping up in the Dutch East Indies. Someone pointed out online, like, hey, you should just quit since by turn 4, if the Dutch East Indies haven't been conquered, Japan's out. But you know, it's a learning game, and you know, I don't like quitting too early. So we'll see. Okay, so let's process this battle. I'm gonna like lay all these guys out. Okay, here we go. We'll go ahead and calculate combat effectiveness for air-naval combat. Ooh, Japanese, bad. Allies, okay. Well, looking at the chart, the allies are no better. The range 3 to 5 means you are at 50% effectiveness. So everyone's fighting at 50% attack strength. I believe the Japanese have 57 attack points, and that includes +2 to the APD, this cruiser, and this light cruiser because of their Japanese night fighting advantage. So 57. And then the allies have 10, 10, 32, so 52. And if I do my math right, that's cut in half to 29, right? Because it's rounded up, fractions rounded up, to 26, 29 to 26. Let's go ahead and do the allies first, 29 to 26. So they're going to do 26. One thing, these Japanese carriers, someone asked this online too, these Japanese carriers are not in the battle hex, and someone's like, well, why wouldn't you just put them in the battle hex? And you know, in this case, it looks like it probably doesn't matter, but when for each carrier or air unit for that matter, not in the battle hex, you can only inflict losses on those for each one of your own air and carrier units in the battle. So the allies have 2 air units, so they theoretically can get 2 hits on these guys over here. They can't get 3, even if we had enough to like wipe them out. If we had enough attack strength to wipe everybody out, we could not wipe these guys out. There'd still be 1 step left over, and that's because we only have 2 aircraft. Yes, and if I didn't have any aircraft, I couldn't even harm them because the rest of my forces are surface forces. So anyway, let's do some 26-point attack. I'm thinking it'd be nice, maybe best, to take out these sort of support units, and you know, I can't kill them all this turn, but this offensive, just try to whittle away at the supporting units, and then you know, carriers and battleships I can mop up later, maybe. But because this battleship is so powerful, I can't actually knock a bunch of things out. So we're going to go ahead and spend 14 on the Hiei. And let's see, that was 26, so that leaves me 12. We'll go ahead and do this Kamikaze APD. Let me see if the Tenryū is a 2-step unit. It is, so yeah. So we've now done 22, and then I can damage the Ryujo up here for 3. That leaves us 25. We got 1 point left over that's wasted. Now for the Japanese, 29 points. Now they could damage the aircraft, but the aircraft repair so quickly. Naval units don't repair so quickly. It looks like every other turn the U.S. get one naval replacement. Now, I'm sure they get lots of reinforcements, but I think it's probably better to knock out naval units, though their defense is so high. But, if that would be 24, and then we'd be wasting 5 points. So we can do a 10, 26. I don't want to waste 5 points, but I think I have to. There's not much else I can do. Yeah, so we're going to flip the North Carolina and the Northampton and throw 5 points away, unfortunately. So for calculating the winner, I think that we got 41 here. Attack strength still in the battle. In the Japanese, let's see, 8 plus 16 is 24, plus that's a 12, so 36 to 41. So I'm just trying to think, could the Japanese have destroyed something, harmed something else to try to at least tie or exceed the Allies in the battle? Like if they didn't do this guy, that would put 3 points back. So the Allies would be at 44, and then they can harm an aircraft that would take them down to 39. Nah, they still. I don't think they can do it. How much points came off of this? Yeah, 8. Yeah, okay. So the Allies won the battle. This doesn't bode well for the Japanese. That is. That's kind of what my goal was as the Allies. More of an attritional thing, but I wanted more of the carriers to attrit. I'm gonna get a little support carrier here. Okay, so this means the invasion can proceed, I believe. Or since there's still enemy naval units, maybe that's not true. Yeah, I double checked, and the amphibious assault may move forward. By the way, if the Allies didn't have any air here, let's say they had those 20 points allocated to ships and ship attack strength, the Japanese would still win. If you are the only side of a battle that has air power, whether it's carriers or air units, you win the battle, regardless of your strength. That's interesting. Gotta keep that in mind for later. Okay, so yeah, let's do this amphibious assault. The naval and air units cannot bombard the ground unit because they had to fight this sea battle. Let's go ahead and roll for combat effectiveness of both sides. Ooh. No bueno for the Allies. So let's modify the offensive player's die roll first. So I'm just kind of reading this off the chart. +2 if only the offensive player has naval units in the battle hex. So that's not true. They have naval units in the battle hex, but there's also a bunch of Japanese. -2 because they're attacking mixed terrain. Okay, so we're at -2. +2 if only the offensive player has active air units and there are no reaction player air or CV, CVL, CVE units in the battle hex. So I saw in the battle hex, I'm like, well, these CVs and CVLs are not in the battle hex. I read the rules. The chart is slightly different wording than the rules. The rules just say I have to participate in the battle, not be present inside the hex. So there looks like to me, this stays at 0. You can't go to -2. 0 is 1/2 effectiveness. Now the attacker or the defender, reaction player, they get +3 if the offensive used amphibious transport, and it did. And I forgot to mention, the U.S. has used one of their 3 ASPs to bring that Marine unit in. So they're going to get a +3, which takes this to 11. So I don't know. I'll put on a 1 here to remind me it's at 11. And that appears to be, so they're going to get double their combat effectiveness. And a reminder, during an amphibious assault, your defense value is halved. So that means 8 to 4. It's going to flip this and then flip it again. The Marines are wiped out. 4 to 6 does nothing. Wow, that was a bloodbath. I didn't really realize it can go that bad. Obviously rolling a 0 versus a 8 or whatever it was really helped. So these guys are wiped out. They are eligible to be rebuilt though. Time for some post-battle movement with the reaction player first. Ryujo and Ryujo is going to go back to the southern Philippines. I think the Tenyiru is going to stay here. It sort of, in a way, acts like a free activation on the defensive, right? Because if the allies attack there, it's automatically in the battle. I don't have to activate it. In fact, maybe we'll just throw the Hiei in there too. Need to get some air down here too. I mean, this is, in a way, it's kind of like the inverse of the Allied Java garrison, surrounded by enemies, taking hit after hit. The Japanese are doing the same thing on this side, trying to hold back off this offensive. Anyway, these 3 ships will go right back to the truck fleet up here. As for the Allies, all these ships will come stack at Guadalcanal. And this guy will stay where he is. I think I want this guy to fly back to New Georgia just to kind of have some more stacking, just in case there's some like surprise attack and somehow I can't react. Yeah, that was the offensive and counter-offensive. Now, I'm going to draw the Japanese strategy card. I didn't draw it when I played the card because you can't use a drawn strategy card in the middle of an offensive. So that was just sort of my reminder to do that. And they can draw this card again, so that's cool. So let's see what they get. Got a submarine attack. Okay, so that'll probably come in handy. It's not as cool as I was hoping for. Okay, Japanese offensive or card turn. I think we're going to try to work on Java again. I'm content over in the Solomon Islands where we just were to react. I know I have at least 1 reaction card in my pocket as the Japanese. So we'll just try to hold the allies off while we try to like clean out this area. This will free up a lot of air units and things if I can just clean it up. Sure would be nice to get rid of that inter-service rivalry. I just realized I don't have an anti-inter-service rivalry card. This is going to make it tough going. I got all these army units scattered around. Be nice to be using them. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and play this offensive card. Central Force, Conquest of Borneo. But instead of conquering Borneo, well, we're going to conquer it actually. But we're also going to conquer Java, or get a start on it anyway. My thinking is, by the way, this is 5 logistics. We're going to activate South Headquarters. That'll give us 6 units. And it's another one of those paratroop cards like I played, I think it was last turn or the turn before. Basically an active air unit within its extended range. If there's a Dutch regiment, I can destroy the regiment and put a control marker down. Or it could just be a empty space, I believe. I can put a control marker in as well. Something like that. But yeah, so that seems like a good deal. Like I can use the paratroops to take Balikpapan. That would allow me to control Borneo and get 1 more resource. And I want to bring enough force to bear to Chilachap that I can sink the 2 weak ships there and destroy the Dutch air unit. That might be a bit much. I think I counted it up. It's like 36 to strength, defense strength total. And, also depends on the die rolls and stuff. But, yeah, I think that's my goal. Quick, unrelated side note. This is turn 4. And one of the special things that kicks in at turn 4 is the allies have to make progress of war. Specifically the U.S. They have to capture either 4 Japanese-held named locations each turn, or a number equal to their ASP, which is 3. whichever is less. So 3 this turn. There's 3 ASP available. So we have to capture 3 named locations. So a named location would be a port, an airfield, just a named city, whatever. It can't just be some garbage location that no one cares about. So yeah, it'd be nice to take a Rabal, but I need to start thinking about just like some easy pickings to try to take out, because if I fail to achieve that progress in the war, we'll lose 1 political will point, and we have 7, so we could last 7 turns, but we don't want to do that. So anyway, let's get this offensive started. Okay, so we're activating South Headquarters. We can activate 6 units. We're going to activate this air unit here. Can activate this air unit here. It's got 20 attack strength. That's great. And activate this air unit over here. It's got 16 attack strength. I'm keeping it to naval units because of the inter-service rivalry, and that seems to be the best situation for me here. Gonna activate the Nagato. So we got 4 there. We get 2 more. We're not going to try to take the space. We're just going to try to destroy all the air naval there, and particularly the air. That's the most important part, but I have to destroy all the naval in order to destroy the air, so that we can suppress the ABDA headquarters with zones of influence. Need that air taken out. There's also a carrier in there, so yeah, we got to take that out too. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and get the Congo in there as well. And let's see, Northern Philippines. There's a 16 strength air unit up there. Okay, I like this. Yeah, I'm going to lose some air units probably, but so be it. So our paratroopers, prior to movement, with an extended range, Dutch regiment, boom. Balikpapan has been taken. This Dutch regiment's gone forever. The Japanese resources have moved up to 12. I think they need 2 more in order to maintain a 7-card draw default. Where are we going to get those? Uh-oh. I think I need to count these up. Hold on. Yeah, we're currently at 12. We need 14. This starts next turn, by the way, turn 5. If I have less than 14 as the Japanese, I get less than 7-card draw. Well, I guess this guy up here, that's a candidate. Holy moly, I was thinking it would be a little easier. I think I have to take every single resource X. I guess I do to keep 7 cards. So, so yeah, I need to take Medan and Rangoon. So that's why I shouldn't be ignoring Southeast Asia, which I've been doing. Okay, well, yeah, okay. So, well, we just got one of them. So let's do some air unit movement. That was a 3-hops card, so all air units get 3 hops. Naval units can just sail right in. Bam. And yeah, they have 15 spaces. I'm not even counting. I know they can make it in there. But the air units I will. Yeah, this guy's going to go down to Sorabaya. Sorabaya. I've been saying Baja. This guy's going to go. It's extended range. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I control the airport. So I can go there. And we'll just come in here. And then, yeah, this guy will just cruise down here. He can move even though he participated in the paradrop. This guy up here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that everyone? Yeah, that's all 6. Okay, now to see if the allies can react, or do they detect this surprise attack that's happening right now? Well, we played this as an event. The EC value is 7, so that's an 80% chance of detection. But we also moved units through an enemy zone of influence. So I suppose I could have thought to not bring the ships in, because then no one would be moving through the zone of influence. Or I could have done it so no one's in there, I think. Yeah, I mean, the chance of detection is already high, so it's at 80%. We can add +2 to our die, so I think that goes to 100%. But yeah, let's see if we can roll less than 7. I got a 9. Well, I guess I subtract from my die. Yeah, so I got a 7. So yeah, that was a 100% chance. Okay, it's been detected. The allies, that was a 3-op card, so the allies can activate up to 4 units if they activate ABDA or ANZAC, which is in the neighborhood. No, I think we're going to decline. I mean, there's no point. Like, you have to put units in position to participate in this battle hex, and I only did 1 battle hex. There's not a whole lot of units around to participate. I can't flee because they have to participate. So yeah, they're just gonna take it. Gonna spread all these guys out so we can see all their numbers. Okay, there they are. Let's roll for air naval combat effectiveness. Allies rolled poorly with a 3. Japanese rolled pretty well with a 7. This is an intercept because the allies detected, even though they didn't choose to send additional forces in. So there are no modifiers to the die roll. So the allies of a 3, they're at half effectiveness. Ugh. And then the Japanese, they are at full effectiveness. And obviously this is overkill. Maybe I should have picked a second battle hex because it's like 95 to 11 once. Oh, cut in half, so 5.5 rounded up to 6. 95 to 6. Oops. Okay. So let's have the allies attack. They got 6 coming in. Wow, they can't harm anything. It's great for the Japanese. I think it's safe to say I don't even have to do any math here, but 9, 8 is 17, plus 6 is 23 times 2. Those guys are completely wiped out. I had to do that. This is like languishing. All these guys are gone for good, by the way. They're yellow dot units, pre-war units. Yeah, so maybe I should have brought like some land units in, but there's a lot of strength here still. 24 strength. I should let it rot on the vine a little. It's not a resource hex. Once this headquarters goes down, I think it would cause some other units to maybe possibly attrit, but anyway, we won the battle, of course. There's no land attack, so we'll just do some post-battle movement. Congo and Nagato, they're gonna cruise back. Well, they're gonna go to the southern Philippines together. Congo was in Southeast Asia, but we'll cruise back to the Philippines. Reason I'm doing that is I'm anticipating a lot of attrition in the Solomon Islands. I want to leave one. Let's see, what do we got there? Oh, the Nachi. I want to leave one of these air units down here. Now these guys can all make 3 more hops. Maybe I'll put this weakest one. We'll rebase it down to here in Surabaya. So that way we got zones of influence completely surrounding Tijilachop. Okay, so let's start moving all these guys out. I think at least 2 of them should move towards the New Guinea region. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking like if this inter-service rivalry is going to keep lasting, maybe I should be migrating Navy to counter the Americans and Army to counter the British and Chinese. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So yeah, we'll just get these guys going. So this guy is currently here. These guys are currently here. Let's see about hopping them back that way. I don't think there's a lot of bases available over here. We need to start landing some troops in New Guinea, but Let's see, this guy's extended range is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we can at least get him to Mindanao. And then, yeah, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can get him out to Palau. Okay. And then this guy, same thing, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Palau. This guy, we'll just throw him into Mindanao until we can. Oh, wait, Samar, actually. That'd be better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reason Samar is better is it's only 4 hexes to Palau. So, but yeah, I couldn't get them all the way over there. And if you're wondering about these guys down here in New Guinea at Vogelkop, there's no port or airfield there. So I need to kind of spread out around here. Okay, so I'm happy with that, because Java has been not eliminated, but frozen. Okay, the next card play is the Allies, and I think they're going to play another Solomon's attack. However, looking at the time, I think this is a good cutoff point. So keep the comments coming. Thanks for watching. Look for part 2. Catch you later.